How's it going? On this fine Saturday evening. Excuse me. This would have been the time we'll be playing Baldur's Gate. But my buddy, he is indisposed. He had other plans, it's fine. So I figured why not play this on stream, and this will be like a blind playthrough for me because I played the demo when it came out like a year or two ago, and I just picked it up recently during the winter sale, and I think it's a really cool concept. Like very simple, like color coded, choose multiple choice answers, but dialogue options. But the fact that it's combined with a musical that you can pretty much shape on the fly is real neat. Plus, it has like a really stacked cast, most of which I can't really name offhand, apart from like Laura Bailey, Ashley Johnson, and a plethora of others that again I can't really name offhand. So, without much delay, I'll probably like remain like mic off for this because it seems more it would probably be better if I didn't talk. So let's get into it.
Four hours. 4 hours in a rented gym that still smells like socks and childhood trauma. And where did it get us? Other than bored? The band wasn't even looking for anything specific. We just wanted change. We wanted to see who was out there, if they'd show up. Well, they showed up all right.
You know, I had a dream where this exact thing happened. Except we were on stage. And naked.
We were auditioning.
Not all of us. Okay, it was just me. I was naked. I think this went better.
Hey, we should consider that. We could be the Naked Band, coming soon to a really private auditorium near you.
You know, somehow I believe you'd actually do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a hard no. Okay, let's just wrap this up. Kaz, do you need a ride?
Just to Brian's. I'm crashing on his couch until I get a new place.
What? You said it'd be 2 days.
You know you like having me around. Whatever.
Have you heard yourself snore?
Hey, Grace, you okay? I know you've been kind of loose ends since you left college. I was just hoping tonight would cheer you up.
I'm fine, Freddie. I'm really okay.
Yeah? You don't seem okay.
Well, I guess I just thought this would be easier, you know? How did I even get here?
I know. It's okay, Grace. I'm right here with you.
Music is your life, Freddie. You're the drummer, the lyricist. All of this was your idea. I wish I knew where I fit.
I think you fit. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You coming?
I'm gonna hang out a bit and lock up. I'll see you at home.
Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. Is the world too much, or is it just me? Everything I set upon unravels at my feet. Everything I've learned wasted on a girl who doesn't know how to be free. Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen.
Oh,
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I heard you from outside. My name's Calliope. You have an amazing voice. I hope you know that.
thanks. I'm Grace. Are you here for the audition, or?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay. Did you, bring an instrument, or some music?
I kinda bring my music wherever I go.
Alright. Well,
With the fire furious, I have burned my tongue. Grief from all the promises, too many dreams unsung. All the steps I didn't take and paths proved untrue. Is there any path through? Like a boat lost at sea, oh, I'm about to with no sails, not a you breeze. Still have your life ahead. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. All things that lose their way can find it again. There is no inertia in the ocean.
was that?
Your song was just so wonderful. I had to finish it with you. I hope that's all right. I also know what it feels like to be lost. To feel as if you have no place to turn. That's why I had to come inside.
It's really weird. I feel like... Have we met before?
I don't think so, but artists often find me familiar.
What does that mean?
It means I've traveled in many circles. May I ask you why you feel so adrift? You're so young. Surely your life is just beginning.
It would sound stupid.
Try me.
Well, I left school because I didn't feel like I belonged there, but I still haven't found my place. What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? Shouldn't I have figured this out by now?
Those are good questions to ask. I should go.
About the audition. I'm sure everyone will agree you're in, if you want to be, that is.
I hope to see you again, Grace. Perhaps soon.
Right. See you then.
Just one quick thing that I forgot to do when I set the stream up. Just not realizing it. Sorry. Not that I think it'll matter too much, but... Okay. So... got that set up. Hopefully I was heard for the beginning of the stream. Or the game was heard. I don't know. Forgot to set my audio sources. That's all. So, I'll just have to find out when I look back at the VOD. Anywho, hopefully this should be correct now. Mic off.
Did you lose your keys, Fred? I thought you'd be... What the... Calliope?
I didn't know where else. I'm so sorry, Grace.
What happened? Who did this?
It doesn't matter now. I didn't want to do this to you. Not like this. I'm so sorry.
What do you mean? Hey! Calliope! Please? Please, come on. What is that?
Oh, I can wait. Take your time.
Is that my door?
Technically, it's my door. Or our door, maybe? I came as soon as I could.
Hold on. Who are you? How did you get here?
Through the door? I mean, geez, how did you get here? She really is dead, huh? Man. So, the course is gonna want to talk to you. Sucks, but, you know.
The chorus? You mean the authorities? Are they coming?
I guess they're authorities? But they're not coming here. We have to go to them. I can see you don't know squat about this, so I'm gonna explain real quick, but then you gotta come with me, okay? When Cal died, you saw a shiny thing come out of her, right? That was her soul. That's what made her a god.
A what?
It's in you now, which makes you a god. Surprise, right? With me so far? Cool. Let's go.
Sorry, I don't mean to stop, but okay.
Where are we?
Sorry to drop you and run, but when an idol dies, there's like 100 different things I gotta do.
No, wait. Where did you bring me? How did we get here?
The chorus can explain. Don't touch anything. Okay?
Wait! Come back! Okay. Yeah. I'll just wait here and, not touch anything.
Our beloved sister, the last of the Muses, has passed on to you. Our new sister, delivered to us by dear sweet Hermes. It's, Grace, yes?
Yes?
Oh, my. You have had quite the day, haven't you?
It must be a mistake. I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Nor should you. We go to great lengths to ensure mortals believe they are alone in their great big world.
But we aren't?
No. Oh, my poor dear. I should explain. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Athena, goddess of wisdom. This is Apollo, god of prophecy, dressed for the occasion, as always. The wondrous Aphrodite, goddess of love. And the one glaring at you is Persephone, once queen of the underworld. Together, we are the chorus. We rule over the idols, our name for the gods who remain. All of us, hidden in your modern world.
You expect me to believe that idols, have been living among us for what, thousands of years? You're thousands of years old.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to make you believe anything, not at all. If you'd like to believe this office is right outside your front door, or that we are, I don't know, actors, religious fanatics, by all means. The only thing I do need you to grasp is that you are here. This is real, and like it or not, it is happening.
But gods aren't real. They can't be, they're just...
Stories, myths, legends.
If you're real, you'd be all-powerful. You wouldn't be hiding or...
Don't pay much attention to those old tales about us, Grace. They weren't very true to begin with, and, well, truth be told, we've diminished since those days. That doesn't mean we're helpless, of course. Far from it. Yet, at the end of the day, we too are just people, trying to get by.
Right, and you live here, not in some city in Europe or
on top of a mountain? Oh, I know. Once we roamed marble halls, and now, fashionably appointed apartments. We have Wi-Fi. We move with the times, Grace. We have to, if we're going to remain hidden and survive. The mortals grow more and more clever with each passing century. Television! I do what I must.
Wait, you said, and Hermes said, that I'm a god now too. And an idol.
That is true.
That thing that came out of her that went into me.
We call it an eidolon, the part of Calliope's soul which made her an idol, which now makes you one.
Athena, we are wasting time.
The reason you're here, Grace, the reason why we made you wait so long while we debated, is because we have rules. Those rules mean we can't admit into our ranks a usurper, never mind a possible murderer. I know this will all come as a shock, and I'm so sorry to say it, but I'm afraid you have to die.
You want me to die? But that isn't fair.
I know, but consider it from our point of view. A dear sister, someone who traveled with us through the ages, gone.
But I didn't do it. Aren't you supposed to be the goddess of wisdom? Can't you see this isn't right?
Calliope's blood is literally on your hands.
But it isn't...
Oh, she looks so helpless. Maybe we
We should do as we agreed. Calliope's line would end, yes, but what other option do we have? Let a usurper remain an idol?
Justice has to be done, for Calliope's sake.
But this isn't justice!
If you are lost, little girl, this bears explanation. Dear child, please listen. You have usurped a muse. No recourse to be arranged. But it's unfair, I know, but our laws cannot be changed. But she came to me. You must realize there are simple rules. If one of us dies, these rules have been the tools that you must know.
I didn't do it. Is it weird this isn't song?
Now that the muse is gone, now that she's gone, I'm afraid you'll have to see. The chorus is in accord. Justice won't be ignored.
I disagree.
Did I hear that correctly?
You've been quiet this entire time, Apollo. Why speak up now?
I grieve Calliope's loss just as much as the rest of you, but I can't let you do this.
He's right. What if Grace speaks the truth? What if Calliope chose her?
And what if Calliope was murdered by her? What if Grace stole her Eidolon?
Then we need to find out. Don't you want justice?
Oh, Apollo, I thought we'd agreed this was justice. What would you have us do?
I can prove myself. If you let me. I can try.
We aren't seriously considering this.
Oh, very well. This one time. I put a motion before the chorus. Do we allow Grace the right to prove her innocence?
Yes.
I think so. Yes.
Fine.
And there we have it.
Have what? What just happened? Am I free? Do I get my day in court?
Yes, you shall. You say Calliope chose you. I would like to believe that. I truly would. You have 1 week to find out what happened, Grace.
What happens after a week?
There will be a trial. If you cannot provide proof of your innocence by then, oh, our original verdict stands.
This is not real. I fell down some stairs, right? I'm in a coma. A nice, normal coma.
Oh, would that were so. For then Calliope would still be with us.
You can wake up any minute now, Grace. Any minute.
We're not going to keep you, Grace. You have much to do. Before you go, however, a few rules. Do not reveal our existence to the mortal world. This includes mortal authorities that cannot help you. Do not harm another idol. Do not leave the city. Do as the chorus commands. Otherwise, do whatever you must to find the true killer, if they exist.
Oh, that's all?
Welcome, dear sister.
And do help yourself to a cookie.
Grace? Grace? Hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi. You're kidding, right? When I came home, the door was wide open. You weren't answering your phone. Kaz and Brian are still out looking for... Grace... We thought something happened to you. Wait, did something happen to you?
Yeah. Kidnapped by aliens.
Well, if you don't want to tell me, you don't have to.
Big, scary aliens.
You were gone all night. Why didn't you answer your phone? Well, I was calling and calling. This wasn't some hookup, was it? Because, you know, you can say it's none of your business, Freddie.
Freddie? You might not want to turn around.
Why? Did your hookup return? Did they bring flowers? Are they preparing to serenade you?
Hi there.
Who is this, Grace? Why does he have horns?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine.
To answer your question, my dear, you see the horns because I allow you to see the horns. That's crazy, right? As for who I am, I've been known most often as Pan. So you call me that, if you must call me anything.
Pan, of the Greek gods, Pan, right? What are you, some kind of cosplayer?
The days of idols being called gods are well behind us, I'm afraid, but I assure you, I am the real article. I've come to offer our newest idol a helping hand. Or perhaps two. You do look lost, don't you?
So we can just talk about this. In front of Freddie.
Haven't you? Darling. And here I drop my glamour and everything.
It's just, I was told we're not supposed to. Talk about it, that is.
Talk about what? Grace, tell me.
The prohibition is against revealing the idols to the mortal world. She's not the mortal world, is she? She can be trusted, can't she?
Why do I have the feeling that I'm gonna regret not leaving with Brian and Kaz?
Oh, I can guarantee it.
Okay, Freddie. Have a seat. Let's talk.
Huh.
That's it?
Huh? I guess. Do you believe in this, Grace?
You know, I'm taking it one slow breath at a time. It's been a long night.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I have a million questions, but I can ask them later. The important thing is that I am here to support my best friend.
What did I ever do to deserve a friend like you?
You sat next to me at lunch period, dummy.
Oh yeah, right.
My friendship comes with all sorts of benefits, up to and including the tracking down of supernatural killers.
Such darling camaraderie. It brings a tear to my eye. It truly does.
Speaking of killers.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You wound me, dear lady. I've come to offer advice to our newest idol, a foundling who was set adrift most cruelly.
Seems rather convenient, you showing up with advice. How did you even know I existed?
A little bird told me, if you must know. Very useful, those little birds.
He's not gonna tell you, Grace.
There's not much to tell. Among the idols, news travels swiftly. We are a tiny village of godly busybodies. I heard of your arrival, and I know how obtuse the chorus can be. So here I am. You're welcome.
So you're here purely for my sake then? Like a charity case?
My dear sweet girl, as far as you're concerned, I am the god of charity cases.
But you're not, are you? Pan was the god of lust and mischief. Doesn't sound too charitable to me.
Ah, yes. The old tales of the gods. Such antics, such fantasy. Pay them no mind.
You know, you could be the killer, for all I know.
Come to mislead you, perhaps. How fiendishly clever of me. Well called, darling.
And maybe even true.
Poor Pan! To be eternally maligned and mistrusted. Alas, and alas, and alas. I doubt there's a line of idols waiting to offer you advice, Grace. But whether you accept mine or not is for you to decide.
I still don't trust you. Nobody does anything for free.
Now. Who said I was doing anything for free?
Here we go.
I have not, however, asked for anything. As of yet.
Okay, I'll bite. What's your advice? I have to admit, I don't really know where to start.
Well, I'm not normally one to run amok telling others how to live their lives. But have you considered using your powers?
My powers.
Music, art, passion. You are the last muse, and all these are now your province.
When I was talking to Athena and the others, they all started singing. Does that mean that was me?
Let me guess. Music swelled as if from nowhere. Lips quivered, souls were laid bare.
Yeah, I guess.
And yeah, that was you.
Okay, but how does that help me find Calliope's murderer?
Allow me to expedite the process of understanding. Now then, close your eyes. You hear that? It's coming from you. When you sing, what emotion does it summon?
I don't know.
You open your eyes, you look into the crowd, and you feel
powerful.
Grace, you know that you're lost now. You've been given powers you don't understand. I'm the guy who can help you. All that you hear is at your command.
Wait.
No, it's okay, Freddy. This is all me? What do I do?
Start singing.
Now?
Why not? Time's a wasting.
Freddy, he's got me shaking. I don't know what I'm meant to do. Something in me's awakened. But this goat guy thinks I'm some great ingenue. I'm doing it now, huh? I don't follow.
Are those really actual horns? And this singing is so hard to swallow. Can you hear me, Grace? What's going on?
Lost girls, you all love your lost girls. A rescue that you can take home.
I won't say you need saving. You're not drowning, you're waving. And you two, are you dating? It's so titillating.
Grace, we gotta be careful. Has he slipped something into our drinks? Spouting crap about powers. He could be dangerous, what do you think? Sing it, Freddy, I hear you. We've only just met, now he's my new best friend. Now I'll owe him a favor. And what will he want in the end?
You're lucky. I got to you. There's people out there who will come for you. I've heard that you're making so much ado. You're lost and I'm trying to help.
Lost girls, you all love your lost girls. A rescue that you
okay, Freddy. I got this.
I never knew I had that in me.
Who's making this happen? This isn't a game.
You don't understand.
This has all gotten out of hand.
Nothing for Grace will ever be the same.
Lost girls, you all love your lost girls.
A rescue that you can take home. Oh,
You can see we're at home.
I see what I see, kid. Freddy has no idea, kid. You'd be far better off on your own.
I don't know about that.
Really? Now you're just being silly. Maybe the muse isn't feeling the gravity. Or do you refuse and, like ostriches, happily stick your heads in the sand? Grace, I could be your right hand. Freddy, you better leave her alone. Let me do what I do or she'll sink like a stone.
Lost girl, I know I'm not a lost girl, but this is all new and I don't know what to do. Should I stay with my bestie? This goat's getting testy. Won't be lost on my own. I'll always be home. Sorry to break it to you, Pan, but I'm not abandoning my best friend.
That's your choice. Humdrum mortality.
how about trusting in those who love her instead of those who want to use her?
Oh my, such drama. No matter how you employ it, Grace, this is the power of a muse, drawing out that which lies within. I trust you can see how that might be useful in your investigation.
Sure, but I have to admit, I didn't feel completely in control.
Of course not. A song goes where a song goes, Grace. It will only go where it wishes. A muse does not command. She evokes. She elicits. She inspires.
Look, Creepo, Grace already told you to take a hike.
So she did. Allow me to get to the point then. For all your powers, you still need a place to begin your search. And this I can provide. An address. In the city. Where Calliope was staying, I do believe.
If you had that all along, why not look into it yourself?
Me? Conduct a search like some plebeian. Unheard of. Now this I consider a favor. One I hope you'll remember in future dealings.
Ah, that's perfect. We can look for clues there. What this Calliope was doing, who her enemies were.
I should remind you there is an element of danger. A killer is on the loose, no?
Then I'll definitely need backup.
You'll be fine. After all, what's a mortal to do that you cannot?
I can speak Hindi. Okay, fine, I get it. I need to find Kaz and Brian. Just tell them you're okay. If, not the other stuff.
Then I guess I'll go check this place out on my own.
So glad that's settled. I'll let you get to it. I've drinking to resume. Ta-ta.
Oh, it's open. That's not a good sign. This is Calliope's apartment? I don't know what I was expecting, but not this. Hello? Oh, sure, Grace, good job. Just announce to the killer that you're here. I better have a look around. Damn, look at that. That's beautiful. How do you even get one of these? After Calliope left the audition, where did she go? Did she follow me? Did she come here? Did she paint that? Looks like it belongs in a museum. Andy Warhol, yeah, that makes sense. I wonder how many celebrities she knew. Right. These aren't... Do I inherit these as the new muse? Is that even okay to ask? I want to believe this is just an ironic photo of Elvis and she wasn't like his muse or... A giant harp. Of course there's a giant harp. So many instruments in here. Did she play all of them? I don't see anything useful down here. Maybe there's something upstairs? Oh man, keep it together, Grace. It's just your average, everyday...
There were only 3 muses, you know, not 9. Whenever they found someone who made something truly masterful or created a new art form, they'd pass on their eidolon, take a new name. You see, that's how the mortals became confused. They got it wrong. Like they got almost everything about us wrong.
You scared me, sitting there in the dark.
Oh.
For all I know, you could be the killer come to hide the evidence or raid the fridge.
No, I'm just here to mourn an old and very dear friend. If I may ask, how did you find this place? And what are you doing here?
Pan told me about it. I was hoping I could find something, some clue about what happened.
You've already met Pan? How odd.
Well, at least he lifted a finger to help me. For his own gain, maybe, but it's better than nothing.
I honestly wish I could help you, Grace. You and Calliope both deserved better.
I should thank you for, speaking up for me.
It wasn't right, what they were doing.
It still isn't. I still need help.
I'm not disputing that, Grace. I just don't think that I'm the one to help you.
Why can't you help me exactly? Pan said there's no specific rule against it.
It's not that I'm forbidden to help you, Grace. It's that you don't want my help.
Of course I do! You have to know more than me about almost everything!
My help will only make things worse.
How is that possible? I've been sentenced to death.
And without my help, you stand a chance of avoiding that fate.
Can you tell me about Calliope? I barely knew her, but she seemed...
She was a beautiful soul, if troubled.
Troubled?
She thought the idols had lost their way. She argued with us, with all of us, that we needed to change. We hadn't spoken in years. I hadn't seen her home before today. I'd rather not talk about it.
This room is a mess. Did you do this?
Like this? It was like this when I got here.
And you didn't think that was in the least bit strange?
I didn't think much of it. I came here to be reminded of Calliope, not to search through her things. That and it's cleaner than my place.
So you didn't mess up the room, but someone must have. There could be a clue.
No, nothing that I've seen. All this mess, as you put it, is likely the result of her projects.
Her projects?
When Calliope got an idea in her head, she would obsess over it, sometimes for months, even years. I don't know what she was involved with lately, but this... for her, this is nothing.
So let me get this straight. You'll speak up for me, but you won't lift a finger to help.
You don't want me to do more.
You keep saying that, but it doesn't make any sense. If you didn't want to help, that'd be one thing. But insisting I don't want you to? Why not?
I can't do this.
I can see this is hard for you, I really can. But I don't understand.
You don't know what you're asking.
Do I have to beg? For whatever reason you helped me before. My life is still on the line.
I haven't sung in centuries.
According to Pan, I can't force anyone to do anything.
Phantom pains from a missing friend, feeding thoughts, thoughts that never end. What did I do? What didn't I do? Here she is, only in your head. Long gone fights, but they're never dead. What did I do? What didn't I do? Calliope, what was she to you? Years, thousands of years, we walked side by side. She tried, said there's other paths. Don't walk the same, never the same. I have roads I like, smooth, paved in stone. She got tired of our divide. We weren't the same, never the same. You held fast. What's that about? Stubborn me thought I'd wait her out. Usually she'd come back to me. You see, she'd return. We'd do that old dance, knowing both there
pushed you too far, just say
it's okay. She's gone. Can't be the same. Never the same. That hidden voice, it'll always play on loop. It'll always say, what did I do? What didn't I do?
it's a song you can't erase, but you can make a time and space for what you will do. Something new.
Very well, I'll help. Though I'm uncertain what you expect me to do.
Athena called you the god of prophecy, didn't she? Isn't that telling the future?
Prophecy is the last thing you need, Grace.
It'd be helpful if you could explain why, exactly. This is all new to me, remember?
Yes, of course, that's true. It's so easy to forget that. To receive a prophecy is not simply to be told what might happen, it's to be told what will happen. To know a prophecy is to be bound to its outcome. Only in ignorance is one free to choose.
What? That makes no sense. If you tell me I'm gonna fall into a hole...
Then you will.
No, but I'll just avoid holes. All holes, any hole.
And the act of trying to avoid them is what will make you fall. Worse, prophecies are never crystal clear. Sometimes you won't understand the full meaning until it's too late.
Okay, is there anything you can do that isn't prophecy related?
Not directly, but yes, possibly. Come with me. There's someone I'd like you to meet.
This is where you live?
Oh, yes, sometimes. And excuse the mess. I don't get many visitors.
This really explains why you didn't notice anything at Calliope's apartment.
Well, don't hold back on my account, Grace.
You said I'm here to meet someone?
Ah, yes. Do you know what an oracle is?
Someone who tells the future?
Not quite. They serve as a channel of sorts for my powers. This allows them to offer insight, knowledge they have no earthly means to possess. There's always been one. Over the ages, no matter where I go, one manages to find me.
Meaning there's an oracle here.
There is.
What?
I have brought someone to see you.
How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not a magic fortune cookie. Is that what Paul told you? Oracle's my handle. And even if I was the Oracle, I'm certainly not his Oracle.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Oracle.
Well, she's got better manners than the last lady you brought here. But at least that one had a casserole. Do you have a casserole?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Look, I'm sure he told you all sorts of nonsense. I use computers. I'm a hacker. That's it.
I ask very little of you, Oracle. Your help here would be appreciated.
Fine. Don't get your abs in a twist. Okay, so Paul brought you all this way just to see little old me. What's on your mind, sis?
You keep saying Paul. Do you mean Apollo?
Yeah, I know. Apollo, if that is his real name, says he's a god of prophecy, blah, 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 blah.
But you don't believe him.
Believe him? Who'd believe that? It's super weird, but he's a decent guy, so he can be Apollo if he wants, but I just can't call him that.
Do you live here?
I crash here, yeah. Better here than home.
She showed up one day, as the oracles do. Naturally, she is welcome to stay as long as she likes.
And see the way he talks. I thought maybe he was a creepiverse, but nah, Paul's aight.
The highest of praise.
He'd be more alright if he did some laundry.
So you're an oracle who uses the internet, huh?
Like I said, it's my handle, and yeah. It's a sweet setup, huh? Some of it's even legit.
The parts I purchased for her, presumably.
Bargain for, fair and square. And I keep telling you to get me an Ethernet cable.
I don't know what that is.
It's the 21st century, Paul. And your 21st century oracle needs her some download speed, okay?
Tell me, is Apollo always so...
incredibly emo? Like a sack stuffed with sad?
I am standing right here.
Don't get me wrong. It grows on you after a while.
Grace, surely this is not what you came for.
I guess you're right. I just can't resist.
It's fine. I just don't need to be put under the microscope in my own abode.
Abode. He cracks me up.
I'm looking for information about someone named Calliope. Can you help?
Oh, the lady from that apartment I sent Paul to. Yeah, I've been checking that out.
What did I tell you?
I looked it up. You could do the same if you learned to use the computer. Here, hold up, I'll show you. There. The apartment was originally purchased 2 years ago by a holding company, Core with a K Enterprises.
Oh, I see. That would be Persephone.
You weren't expecting that?
I wasn't aware Persephone and Calliope were friendly. Certainly not friendly enough for Persephone to give Calliope an apartment. The good news is that Persephone is easy to find. I can take you to her if you like.
I'm thinking she won't be happy to see me.
Persephone is rarely happy to see anyone.
Great! We're all done now.
Thank you for your help, Oracle. Please, do try to get out from behind your screens at least once today. Perhaps go for a walk.
Yeah, sure, will do. Leave a tip on your way out.
Welcome to the underworld.
Wow. How have I never heard of this place?
Persephone keeps it a secret, while still managing to draw a crowd every night. Don't ask me how. Here in the underworld, idols can be themselves, even if they don't look human.
Do you come here often?
Oh, no. Persephone and I aren't friends.
Is she friends with anyone?
Not many, no. Except Calliope, apparently. If we're to find Persephone in all this, we'll need to split up. Have you considered what you'll say to her?
I'll figure something out. I can be persuasive when I want to be.
I'm aware. I'm just not sure even you could sweet talk Persephone.
Is that a challenge?
It's the truth. If Persephone really was friends with Calliope, talking to you might be the last thing she wants. You need to be prepared to use your powers, as you did with me. Come find me in the crown if you need anything. Otherwise, be careful, Grace.
Oh, hey. You're the new muse, aren't you?
I guess I am, yeah.
Aphrodite mentioned it. Didn't figure I'd see you here, though. Oh, excuse the manners. Name's Eros, god of sex.
Did you say that you're the god of sex?
Desire, really. Sensuality. Attraction. Why? Were you expecting a chubby little flying baby with a bow and arrow?
I wasn't...
I actually preferred Cupid, but Pan had to be the trickster. Spread all those stupid stories.
I'm sorry?
Why? It's not your fault. Just another grudge I get to carry around forever.
You know Aphrodite, right? I only met her the once.
Sure, she's my mother. You know how it is.
How would I know?
What's up, Johnny? Thank you for the raid.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't thinking. Like, you hear a lot of idols talk about each other like that. You know, mother, brother, sister, grandfather. None of us are actually related. We just played a family for so many centuries. It may as well be true.
Excuse me, I've been no miking this because it's a very talky game.
So Aphrodite is your mother, but not really.
That's right. A long time ago, she took care of me when I needed taking care of. The mortals, they just assumed. These days, well, it's not like that anymore. We're not as invulnerable as we used to be. Least of all, Aphrodite.
The god of sex at a club. Looking for someone?
Once I might have, sure. Now I'm just here to see it happen.
See what happen?
Look out there. See all these people. The hope, the anticipation, the connections, they bounce off each other. To me, it's like lightning.
And you enjoy that?
I used to make it happen, you know. Mortals once begged me to make it happen, to inspire true love. But now I only inspire sex. Not the same thing. It's just as well. People should find true love the hard way. They'll value it more.
Seem a little distracted. Is everything okay?
Of course it is. Sure. Not obvious, huh? Truth is, I don't come here that often. No, it's hard to get away. I just want... No, never mind.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
You didn't. You're the one with your life on the line. Next to that, my problems are nothing.
Here's the thing. I'm looking for Persephone, but I can't find her anywhere.
Well, I know where she is, but I question whether she'd be happy to see you. Look, I like you. But Mother told me what happened at the chorus. I don't want to cause trouble with Persephone.
She's that scary, huh?
It's not that I'm scared of her. Well, maybe a little. You haven't been around long, but once you have, you'll learn that idle grudges are forever.
I don't know Persephone well, but considering what I do know, I don't blame you.
I know it's lousy, and I'm sorry. I hope I can make it up to you someday.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
Whoa, you're here. I mean, you gotta be somewhere, but you're here.
Hello, Hermes.
Sorry about running off on you back at the thing. Didn't really have a choice, but sorry anyway.
You're not much like the other idols, are you?
No? I haven't been an idol very long. Maybe like a year? I've lost track. So I'm not the one to ask about the idol stuff. It's all cool, but mostly I do whatever Athena asks. Athena says one day I'll sit on the chorus. That'll be sick. Can you imagine me in charge?
Wouldn't Athena still be in charge?
Yeah, you're probably right.
That doesn't bother you?
Why would it? Athena's the nicest of the bunch. She makes the best cookies.
When Calliope died, you were right there, within moments. How did you know?
I told you. I got word, so I came.
But how did you get word?
Look, when an idol dies, I have to be there, so I just know. It's a Hermes thing.
That sounds grim.
It's not so bad. Corone could be less creepy, though.
Who's Corone?
The boat guy. He keeps asking me for a mixtape. What even is that?
This is probably a stupid question, but do you know who might have killed Calliope?
Ugh, why would I know anything about that?
When you came to the apartment, it seemed like you knew her.
Oh no, I only met her once. She didn't live with the rest of the idols or hang out with us very much. She seemed nice though. Angry, maybe. But I don't know who'd want to hurt her.
How was she angry?
Pissed off. But more because she cared about everyone too much not to be. I don't know, that's what I thought anyhow. I'm probably wrong.
You've only been an idol for a year? How did that happen?
Probably same way it did with you.
Oh, the old Hermes died in your arms and then they accused you of his murder?
No. Well, yes. I mean, no, not like that. But yeah. I was there when he died. We were friends and I was having trouble at home and he helped me out. I miss him.
You knew it was gonna happen? It wasn't a surprise?
He asked me before he left. So no, not a surprise.
Is that usually how it happens?
Usually, yeah.
Do you know if Persephone is here? I need to talk to her.
Oh, you're serious. Why would you want to talk to Persephone? Nobody ever wants that. One time, I laughed too loud near her, and she threatened to ban me from the club. I don't want to be banned. I like it here.
Is Persephone really that bad? Why do the idols put up with her?
We're like family, and Persephone is that really mean aunt that nobody wants to invite. Don't tell her I said that. She keeps a list. It's a thing.
Okay, forget I asked.
Whew. Man, just the thought of talking to Persephone gives me goosebumps. Blech.
I'll see you around?
If you die, then for sure. But, don't die.
As I live and breathe, if it isn't our dear muse.
Hi, Pan.
Tell me, have you decided to leave your troubles behind and join us in the land of shadows and revelry?
I should thank you for the address. It's what led me here.
No need to thank me. You'll owe me. Remember, how you managed to stir the sun god from his oh so tiresome gloom, I cannot imagine. Nicely done.
Apollo keeps saying he'll make everything worse, but he's been helpful.
That is his way, to be helpful. Until you turn into a tree.
I don't know what that means.
Let us hope you never do.
I'm guessing it's a total coincidence that I'm running into you here.
It must be. The alternative would be that I knew a great many things ahead of time.
Well, did you?
Do I look like an oracle? I am here to listen to thrilling music and meet delicious people. My tastes are simple.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of simple tastes, my glass is empty again. The service here is appalling.
I assume you're a regular at this club?
And why would you assume that, dear Grace?
The horns, you. Do you know Persephone well?
There is no knowing Persephone well. She won't have it. Not anymore.
Not anymore?
Long ago, we were all very different. Over the span of ages, however, even mountains erode.
The things you say, the things you don't say. You don't make yourself seem trustworthy. You know that?
Trust is for the weak and the penniless.
Still not helping.
Why, Grace, are you assuming that I, Pan, am some sort of scoundrel?
It's more that I'm stating it outright.
Rejected twice in a row. How will I ever recover from such insult, I ask you?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what to tell you, Grace. Even an idol needs to get by.
You must know why I'm here, right?
Let me guess. You seek our sweet-natured proprietress.
Can you help me find her?
Earlier I wasn't good enough, but now, I see how it is. By all means, I'd love to tell Persephone that the source of her rage has intruded on her domain.
What if I asked you really nicely and batted my eyelashes, like so?
Oh no, not my one true weakness.
I could also flatter you, tell you how shiny your horns are.
All right. Never let it be said that flattery gets one nowhere. Let me know when you're ready and I'll take you to Persephone.
I really appreciate it.
Do keep that in mind after you've spoken to her.
I thought this would be easier, but it's as if Persephone left instructions to thwart me. Every staff member I approach screams and runs off. I hope your search has been more successful.
You don't come here often, I'm guessing?
Never. I'm sure Persephone only sent the membership as a formality. I doubt she thought I'd ever use it.
Don't you ever have fun? No drinking or dancing in Apollo land?
Once. When I had the muses to keep me company.
Sorry, I didn't mean to remind you.
It's all right. I'm okay.
It might help if I knew more about Persephone.
It couldn't hurt. What would you like to know, exactly?
What's Persephone's story? Her name rings a bell, but I don't...
No doubt you've heard the tale of how Hades, lord of the underworld, kidnapped a young sweet goddess and made her his wife.
That sweet young goddess was Persephone.
Mm-hmm. Her mother, Demeter, was so enraged she blanketed the world in ice, rendering it barren and infertile. Zeus was forced to act. He decreed that Persephone would be shared between Demeter and Hades, and thus the matter was resolved. Well, you asked. That's her story, as the mortals tell it.
So tell me, how much of Persephone's legend is true?
Well, let's see. Hades did kidnap Persephone. That certainly did happen. The idols almost went to war over it until Zeus intervened and ordered Hades and Persephone to wed. That quieted things. At least until Persephone killed Hades.
Whoa.
As I understand it, Hades was not kind to her. I'd like to say we handled it well, that Zeus and the idols were mindful of what Persephone had been through, but that would be a lie. Persephone was punished for the murder, the underworld taken from her, and we all stood by and let it happen. She has never forgiven us, and honestly, I can't blame her.
Have the idols changed much, you think, since those days?
Well, you know the saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Wait, Persephone killed another idol.
Oh, long time ago, yeah.
What about all of Athena's rules? Wouldn't Persephone have been, I don't know,
Executed? The murder of Hades is probably why we now have that rule. Back then, we heard Persephone had usurped Hades' throne, but we couldn't believe it. It just wasn't done. Now, of course, I look back and think we should have seen it coming. Oh, the benefit of hindsight.
Why didn't you see it coming? You're the god of prophecy.
When I look, I learned long ago not to.
So what happened to Persephone after...
The murder? She survived, like the rest of us. She got older, and when we came to the New World, I think she would have left us if it was allowed. It isn't, so instead she did as she pleased. She started a cult, became a crime boss.
Oh, what?
It was after her last transition, but honestly, I have no insight into anything Persephone does these days.
I thought she was just mad at me, but everyone seems afraid of Persephone.
Noticed that, did you? Persephone's angry with everyone, and has been for a very long time. I've told you why. But it's more than that. She does not let go of a grudge. 1,000 years could pass, and Persephone will remember what you did like it was yesterday.
I found someone who will bring me to Persephone.
Finally. I'll be right behind you.
You're coming with me? But I thought...
She seems even angrier with you than she is with me. I might be able to mediate.
We'll see, I guess.
If you're angry with anyone, Persephone, be angry with me. It was I who...
I will deal with you later. I was willing to leave you be, Grace, to wait until your guilt was certain. And yet here you are, in my domain, uninvited. Why? Are you here to beg for mercy? Are you here to challenge me? Should I be afraid?
I'm not trying to start a fight. Far from it. I came here hoping you could help me.
Help you? Perhaps you could help me instead. I'd like to understand a few things. Do you really expect us to believe that Calliope chose you? What's the real story? Did you stumble across her as she lay dying and desperate? Are you an accident? Did you learn what she was? Did you torture her, hold her at the point of death until she agreed to hand over her Eidolon?
Persephone, this isn't...
You have every reason to try to prove your innocence, Grace, but I have no reason to help you.
You knew Calliope.
We all knew Calliope.
She was staying at your apartment.
You knew her. Better than I or anyone else suspected.
Are you implying that I had something to do with her death?
Prove you didn't. That's how idols work, isn't it?
You hear that? You're in my house, little muse. You want answers? Fight for them.
A lost little girl, you shouldn't have come here. And I sure ain't in the mood to make new friends. Go home, little girl, the shadows drawing near, and you all alone, we both know how this ends. Let's see how far she bends, we all know how this ends. Thanks for the welcome, it's my first time here. You've made your feelings for me crystal clear. You play your show, I'll just go grab a beer. Didn't come here to quarrel with you. Love what you've done here, this place comes up well. You've nailed the theme, it really feels like hell. Guess you're not looking for new clientele. Just as well, that's a 5-star review. Let's try the easy way. Hear what I have to say. They get younger every year. Little big shots that drift through here think they're bringing something new through the door. And you've heard it 1,000 times before. Honey, I've heard it 1,000 times before. Honey, I've heard it 1,000 times. Wait, you're she the Persephone? Oh boy, a celebrity dissing me. Now remind me, Peach, of my memory. Sorry, not up on my ancient history. Underworld, now that rings a bell. Was it you who was married to the king of hell? It's hazy, Hades. So you're his lady before my time because I'm such a baby. Is there nothing she can't do? She's a half-assed would-be rapper too. Introducing MC Clear the Floor. Honey, we've heard it 1,000 times before. Honey, we've heard it 1,000 times. Please teach me my ABCs. Me, I never featured in Euripides. So where are they now? Wow, look around. You're the big cheese of a hole in the ground. Don't you have any idea what you're dealing with, child? Surprise, surprise, coins on your eyes. Give them to the ferryman. Get it in your little head. You're spitting at the queen of the dead. Then I guess you've heard it all before. Gave it my best and then you slammed the door. Raises the question, who else you'd ignore?
something
else that
new,
I speak for.
but you've heard it.
Do you hear that? Calliope. If she had something to say, would you turn her away?
Please don't do this.
You're lost, Persephone. You've buried yourself on stage in the blinding lights. You're hiding here. You ate a bad seed. That's not on me. Rotten too long, blossomed all wrong.
Change shape in time, you'll see we all rot away into who we will be. Your youth wasn't stolen like it was from me.
Let me help you.
Don't touch me. I don't need help from any of you. I was alone when you know who kidnapped and crushed all my dreams till a muse. I just want Calliope back.
Your Majesty, do you understand who I am? Who I
No. No, you've earned your answers. Calliope came to me years ago. She'd grown tired of arguing with the idols, tired of being branded a troublemaker. She couldn't watch the idols wither away without a fight. I knew how she felt, so I gave her the apartment.
So you must know better than anyone what she's been up to.
Not exactly. Calliope and I haven't spoken for at least 2 years. After I heard the news, I went to the apartment and turned it upside down. I had to know the truth.
That was you?
I didn't find anything. Nothing to say what she had been involved with, or gotten into, or who she might have been fighting with.
So what now? Do you still think I'm guilty?
The jury's still out on whether Calliope chose you, but do I think you killed her? No.
If it wasn't Grace, that means someone else was behind Calliope's death. Someone who could keep their involvement hidden.
One of us.
Does it have to be an idol? You thought I killed Calliope. Couldn't it have been some other mortal?
Despite how he might look, it's not a simple matter to kill an idol.
It was difficult enough to believe you had done it. If another mortal killed her, they somehow escaped detection. We found nothing, no evidence of a battle.
You looked?
Of course we looked. What do you think was happening while you waited? If Calliope was attacked elsewhere, even magic revealed no trace of it.
Did Calliope have any enemies? The way you talk about her, she must have. What? What am I missing?
Well, Calliope had a way of making people angry. She could be argumentative.
Yes, but enough to make enemies who wanted her dead?
Not that you or I know of, apparently, but that doesn't mean they didn't exist.
Wait. Did you say magic?
You can battle me through a song in a world of your own creation, and yet magic is beyond belief?
Well, sure. I just thought...
We have our powers just as you have yours.
I can grow a field of corn like nobody's business.
Some would say our powers are also magic, but true magic is a different and older power. Hecate's domain.
And it was of no use here.
We shouldn't rule it out. We haven't tried everything yet.
What about Pan? He showed up at my place out of nowhere, right after I left the chorus.
He did what?
I have to wonder what his angle is.
He has one, that's for certain. Though I've never thought of him as a killer. It would be too... messy.
Still, we should consider the idea. For him to show up so quickly is... odd.
What about Athena? She seemed awfully insistent on declaring me guilty, don't you think?
Athena? No, Athena follows the rules.
Well...
Athena has one goal, and one goal only. To protect the idols. And that included Calliope. She'll eventually drive us all mad with her vigilance, but break her own rules? I don't see it.
Couldn't we go to Athena with this? If you've changed your minds and you're both part of the chorus...
Athena would be sympathetic, but the die has been cast.
She won't go back on the edict, not without clear evidence.
Oh, now you want evidence?
She acted on the information she had. If we want to sway her, we need something better.
For all I know, either one of you could have done it and you're just playing along.
Apollo is capable of many things, but lying? He was never any good at it.
Whereas we know how capable you are of murder.
Okay, this isn't...
The one and only god I killed deserved it.
Right. Sorry I brought it up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know the idols. Don't you have any ideas?
I told you I wouldn't be of much help, Grace.
Did you now? That's unsurprising. When are you ever of help to anyone but yourself?
Says the woman who forced Grace to challenge her rather than answer a simple question.
Calliope died, Apollo. Calliope, who came with us all the way from the old world.
You think I don't know that? Are you forgetting what the Muses meant to me?
Please, both of you. None of this will help Calliope. I know you both miss her. I know you cared about her, but she's not completely gone. A piece of her is in me. She came to me for help, and I don't want to die any more than she did.
Calliope, I'm listening now. Tell us what end you were doomed to.
Calliope, blinded by fire, one match did you strike that consumed you.
How could you blame her? What could she have done to earn such a fate? You are blinded.
God of the sun hides from his own eyes. What would you know about fate?
You say that you knew her, she was family to us, yet you don't hesitate to accuse her. Oh, queen without a throne, go bitter with fury. Not everyone seeks to betray you.
Stop this.
There is something missing we're blinded to.
Yes, there's more to seek.
Apollo, your help is not needed here. Go ahead and abandon another muse.
How could you throw that gauntlet at me? Could your heart shrivel any further?
You abandoned me to a
Terrible
terrible fate.
You replay your injuries
It's
till
far
it's
too
too
late.
late.
You know how far I've been before I
trapped.
snapped.
This
This
is
is
not
not
about
about
you. Enough! This helps no one.
There he is, God of the sun.
Aren't you
and blind you. You can't see yourselves.
He doesn't know what's important.
And you do?
Follow him or stay.
That was not my finest moment. Persephone will never let this go.
What the hell was that? You were one step away from full thunder and lightning.
Old habits die hard, especially around my family. That's why I've tried to avoid my fellow idols for so long. I don't like who I am when I'm with them.
You'd think being thousands of years old would make idols more mature, and yet...
Oh, I've forgotten 10 lifetimes by now. Perhaps my maturity was in one of those. At least coming here was useful. You have a better idea of where to start looking, right?
I thought you'd decide that getting me into the underworld was enough.
What? Bring you to Persephone and then shrug? Not my problem now?
What I meant to say is... thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sorry, I'm not used to asking people for help.
It's all right. I certainly know that tune.
I have to ask, is Athena really not an option? She wouldn't see what you see? At all?
I respect Athena. She has dragged us into the modern age, sometimes kicking and screaming. She's why we're alive. But if I said that her need to keep us safe didn't drive her to extremes, I'd be lying. You represent a risk, Grace. To her, that is more important than any notion of compassion or justice.
I'm not that much of a risk, am I? I won't explode. What's the worst that could happen?
The worst is that we could be admitting either a murderer or a usurper into our ranks.
How awful.
She's protecting an idea as much as a physical reality. It's true. To her, there is no difference.
Where do we look then?
I need to give it some thought. This won't be easy. If another idol is behind this, they know as well. They had a plan.
So you don't know where to look next?
I need time to sort it out. Just be patient, Grace.
Is there anything I can do in the meantime? Someplace I can look?
Don't you want to relax? You haven't rested since this began.
Relax? Who can relax? I've been sentenced to death, Apollo.
Fair point. Even so, go home, Grace. The next time you see me, I'll have a better notion of what to do.
Fine. But I'm holding you to that. Hey, Freddy. Have you been waiting up this whole time?
Yeah? A goat man sends you off into the night. Your life is on the line. And I'm gonna, what, sleep? What if you were taken prisoner, kept in a cave by a cyclops, or I don't know, turned into a tree? I was worried sick.
What is with the tree thing? Pan mentioned that too.
Yeah, Apollo kept chasing this woman named Daphne, and it doesn't matter. Important thing is, you're back.
I met Apollo tonight, actually.
What? No way. Okay, all right. You have to tell me everything that happened. Huh. Persephone runs a club called the Underworld. That's a little on the nose.
I wouldn't suggest saying that to her face.
And you ended up siding with Apollo? Lord of the Sun, god of prophecy? Do you trust him?
As much as you can trust an idol. I swear, Freddy, they're all nuts.
Oh, yeah. If they're even a little like the stories, you should be super careful. So, what are your options? You need to go back to Apollo's place, right?
I could go back to the underworld. Make sure Persephone isn't taking my decision personally.
Oh, and, there's this. Pan left a card, says, "Come by Olympus." I doubt he means the mountain in Greece.
Huh. I wonder what he wants.
Probably to cash in his precious favor.
Still not a fan?
You know how some people just set your teeth on edge? That's Pan. I can't help it. But it doesn't matter. I said I'd help, and that's what I'll do. You can count on me, Grace.
Thanks, Freddy.
The muse? Oh, the embodiment of inspiration. Can you believe it?
Yeah, kinda.
As I recall, Grace, when I said stay or leave, you chose to leave. If it wasn't clear, I don't give second chances. Or did you have some other reason for darkening my doorstep?
I wanted to see you again. Make sure there were no hard feelings.
Oh, so it's a social visit then. Oh, let me be clear. There are no hard feelings. There are no feelings at all. You came, you got what you wanted, you left. Wherever you need to go next, I'm sure Apollo can take you.
There's nothing stopping us from being friends. We don't need to be allies.
As I said before, I'm still not convinced of your innocence. I'd say that stops us from being friends, Grace.
Really? Still?
Either you're guilty, in which case you won't be here long, or you're innocent, and we can speak after the trial. But one last word of advice before you go. If you want to survive, don't look to anyone else for help. Not Apollo, not Pan, not even me. You walked away from my offer, and I respect that. Make your choices and live with them.
Ah, Grace, you're back. That's good. I was just about to call you.
He means he wants me to call you because Paul here still hasn't figured out how to use a phone.
That's not true. I know how, I just don't like them. They're confusing. Anyhow, I've been contemplating our list of suspects, and I think Pan is someone we need to consider.
Wait. You don't like phones?
I just don't like talking to people I can't see.
No, it's the ringtones. They scare the crap out of him. I kid you not.
I'm not frightened. Only a child would be frightened. They're just very loud.
Yeah.
Can we return to the subject of Pan, please?
Why Pan? I thought you'd rejected him as a suspect.
Persephone did, but I've had time to think it over. Pan is a schemer, a traitor in favors. He always has been. His sudden appearance in all this cannot be coincidental.
You think he could have killed Calliope after all?
Perhaps. Or he knows who did and is trying to turn it to his benefit. He always knows more than he pretends.
You should know. Pan asked me to meet him at Olympus. I'm not sure why.
Wait, He wants to see you again? I don't like this.
Neither do I. He decided I owe him a favor after he came to my apartment.
That sounds about right for him. Aphrodite is holding a party of sorts, one you should attend. She is closest to Pan. Indeed, she knows almost all the idols. If anyone is up to something, she's bound to know.
You know Aphrodite better than I do. Can't you talk to her?
Well, talking to Aphrodite isn't something anyone does with much success these days.
Well, if that's the case, what makes you think I'll get anywhere?
There's a standing invitation for the Muse to attend this party. Calliope never went, so Aphrodite will be thrilled to see you. Trust me. If I thought you couldn't get her to talk, I wouldn't suggest it.
What do you mean by a party of sorts? I mean, I'm always down for a party, but...
It's more of a remembrance than a party, really. It's difficult to describe.
That's awfully vague, Apollo.
It'll be easier to see for yourself. It's nothing you can't handle.
I still have that invitation from Pan. Maybe it'd be easier if I just went to see him.
You could, but would you believe anything he had to say?
I might be able to coax some truth out of him. I can be persuasive.
Well, whatever you do, be careful. I still think Aphrodite is our best bet.
Okay, I'll go. Eventually.
Perfect. I will see you there.
Paul, you should see this. The names you wanted me to look up are getting weird results.
I don't doubt it. I was hoping you could...
Get over here!
No worries, Paul. I'll see you later. Fancy party? Check. Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace, you made it. I'm so glad. I was beginning to wonder.
You didn't say this was a fancy party. I feel a little underdressed.
Grace, look at me. I didn't even button up my shirt. It's fine.
Why is everyone so quiet? You'd think someone died.
I should have told you about this earlier. I've been putting it off.
I don't like the sound of that. What am I missing?
You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No deja vu recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
Seems like the sort of thing you should tell a new idol.
New idols are usually chosen. You would know about this already, except...
Except Calliope was murdered.
Well, remember how old we all are. There are so many memories, so the veil lifts gradually to protect you. Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
You're saying I won't be me. I won't be Grace. Will I start calling myself Calliope?
Maybe. Eventually, most of us do, but most of us were chosen and prepared.
And I didn't choose this.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her Eidolon is a way to forget for a while. That's what this party is for.
When you say she's gonna pass on her Eidolon, you mean...
She's going to die, yes, and pass her soul on to a chosen successor.
In front of everyone?
We're here to help, Grace, to make it easier for Aphrodite to do what she feels she must. We're here to say goodbye, at least for a while.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her fourth, I think, perhaps fifth.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift...
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much. We gather to pay our respects and to honor the past, while she still remembers it.
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually you will remember what we experienced during the war, and eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
Wait. Calliope refused to come to these parties. That's what you said.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle. She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a point of contention between them. Aphrodite will be grateful you're here. Trust me.
Okay, so what did Aphrodite want Calliope to do? What does she want me to do?
Well, knowing Aphrodite, she'll want you to make a production of it all. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Mingling?
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace.
Sure, yeah. Relax. That's what this party is for, right?
Grace.
Hey, Eros. Nice to... Oh. Okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much, you have no idea.
Apollo told me. Calliope always refused to come to these things, right?
Yeah, no matter how much Aphrodite begged. Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
Hey, I understand. This can't be easy.
She's the one who is suffering. I shouldn't be complaining. I just hate this. I'm there every day, going through it all with her. The nightmares, the panic attacks, the weeks when she just won't get out of bed. I'm there when she forgets the war's over, and I hold her until the screaming stops. Me. I do that.
That sounds awful.
And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
No, it's okay. I wouldn't usually talk about it, but I know you don't mean any harm. What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some jackbooted mortals so full of themselves and their supremacy, and he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
No. Should I?
God of smiths. He could make anything, any tool or weapon. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now he's all she can think about.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until... I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
What is my part in all of this? I'll help if I can.
Aphrodite loves drama. She always has. She wants us here to... well, to remember, to celebrate our history. She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
It's not up to me, Eros. I can't make that decision for her.
I know. Neither can I. I was only hoping Aphrodite could make that decision for herself, if she was inspired.
I don't know.
It's a lot to ask. I'll understand if you can't. All I want, one way or another, is to get through tonight.
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them. Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but...
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
That would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
Why is that exactly? Wouldn't you feel more like you belonged after 1,000 years together?
Is your assumption that all those centuries bring great wisdom?
Don't they?
We get older. We have more to forget. We hold grudges longer, but wiser. No. Not so far.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble. Piece by piece. Only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
I should get back out there.
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me more than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh! What manners I have. Grace, Grace, meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet you.
We'll both be new at this, huh? Maybe we could get together and compare notes if you,
Survive my trial?
Yeah, Lady Aphrodite told me. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask Eros to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I know that he does not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest love.
Won't he be... a little distracted?
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
I just want to say... I'm really sorry that this happened to you, that you need to do this.
A babe in our dreary world, and yet already possessed of such earnest purpose.
She takes this task seriously, Aphrodite.
Apollo! Oh, you've come after all.
You look remarkably well, cousin.
I've had a great deal of time to prepare. I assure you that would not be the case. As for you, Grace, have you gathered the true purpose of tonight's gathering?
To ease your suffering? To forget about what happened?
An escape into the soothing blackness. To swim in Lethean waters, at least for a time.
Does it help?
I don't know. Each Aphrodite before me begged for mercy. This is all I can do for all of us.
Even so, tonight is not about the pain. It is about honoring the memory of what was while that memory still persists. Go, enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
I want to apologize again, Grace. I really messed up. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Having second thoughts? If so, now's probably the time to mention it.
I would never do that to Lady Aphrodite. I'm just nervous.
That's understandable.
If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
I'm not sure. It happened so fast, I didn't know what to think. Calliope died, and then all this happened.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
Your name's really Venus, huh?
Everybody asks me that. Even the other idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, like, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like, they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that?
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she'd taken an interest in me instead.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Eros called me one night desperate. She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
I get that you want to help Aphrodite, but do you really want to be her? To be an idol?
At first I thought, wow, this is too good to be true. Who wouldn't want to be a god? Later I realized they're not all powerful. They don't know everything. They're lost. Do I want to be that? Will I be that when the memories return? I don't know.
So why go through with it?
Because Lady Aphrodite needs me. Maybe, just maybe, if I'm added into the mix of all the people she's been, maybe things will be different.
Back again.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
I was hoping she might have spared a moment.
What should I do?
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest,
At which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for ruining her party.
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
Have you spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. A more worthy person.
Wouldn't it be better if she chose people who were, I don't know, more resilient?
I suppose that depends on your definition of strength, Grace.
I should get back out there.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided. We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong, we were wrong. We had revelry and rebirth, a family all together, till 13 million marching men cut us down forever. But Brother Ares made it happen, joined their war without dispute. Now the once mighty immortals are just mud under a boot. We let them take our loved ones, it's what they wanted all along. We thought they were beneath us, we were wrong, we were wrong. I can feel we have the vigor of an idol coming in. Be wary as they find you to entail you, and from them charge you and spit at you, parade you in a square. I thought my life was over, and a God answered my prayer. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred and so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory. And this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
I gotta say that I'm amazed I held my tongue for so long. Not such a fan of this old plan, but who's to say that you're wrong? Now shoulda gotta erase a memory when there's no chance of changing history. This guy that sacrificed his life so you can live in his place. Wish he'd drop by, cause man, I'd die to see the look on his face. You try to hide from your reality, but then come back with regularity. And if you notice a disparity, then what's the meaning of his legacy? Who gives a damn about your suffering? Who wants to see you be yourself again? Who feels your pain in case you're wondering? You got the time, but it's the stuttering. Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
I can't place your face, so let me give you a hand. An idol should embrace the things they don't understand. And you don't get it. My mind's a falling city, buildings crumbling down. What is more the pity? All I hear is the sound. Bombs blanketing the ground. A screaming so profound. And you want to play around. Will you offend? Everybody is insulted by your acrimony. Everybody wants to wallow in my testimony. Everybody. So who is ready for the ceremony? Everybody. I'll be siding with the everybody.
Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
I never thought you'd let it get this way. I've stood by watching what we've built decay. We're just pretending that the ending is near. Mother, isn't it clear? Your family's here. Everybody can see the agony you're going through. Everybody knows the goddess is inside of you. Everybody keeps repeating what they're meant to do. Everybody, I've got to stop it just to prove to you. Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
Everybody who understands the hell they put me through. Everybody who'd appreciate a little less from you. Everybody who wants to do the thing they're here to do. Everybody, is anyone else here getting deja vu? Everybody, it's time.
Are you?
I'm fine. I'm still myself. I thought there'd be something more, that I'd feel her presence, but she's just gone.
She'll be back. But she'll also be you. She'll be different.
I'll try to be ready. I promise.
You'll get through this, both of you. Healing takes time.
Not if you keep resetting the clock.
Gerse is right. I'm not Lady Aphrodite. But eventually, she and I will be one. Together, we will get through this.
I hope you're right. Before we go, Aphrodite told me you wanted her help to learn about Calliope's death. I'm not my mother, but maybe there's something I can tell you. Do you have any suspects yet?
I was, thinking maybe Pan.
Pan? He's a lot of things, but a murderer.
He showed up at my apartment right after I left Athena's office. He's very suspicious.
He is, I'll give you that. I'll never forgive him for Cupid.
You know, there is a far more obvious suspect.
You're thinking of Medusa, aren't you?
Wait, hold the phone. That chick who turns people into stone?
Yeah, that's the one.
Medusa works for Athena as, well, as a watcher. That's how Lady Aphrodite described it.
Mother always complained there was something wrong about Medusa, that she would be trouble eventually. Athena disagreed.
If you're gonna start looking into anyone, Grace, start with her.
Come now, Venus. It's been a long night. I'll get you home.
Thank you for everything, Grace. Truly. It was a wonderful song.
So, did they have anything helpful?
Maybe. What do you know about Medusa?
I know she's dangerous, but she does Athena's bidding.
How sure are you of that?
I'm not sure of anything any longer. You aren't thinking of seeking her out, I hope.
I have to. How else will I find out what she knows?
You need to be careful, Grace. Medusa is not to be toyed with. Athena employs her as a spy master, a hound to do her bidding, a vicious hound at that. Athena's not likely to tell either of us where to find Medusa. I can't say for certain who would know. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
I'm fine. It's just a lot to consider.
A lot to consider, she says. Only the nature of immortality. A fine evening's work.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
I suppose you'll be headed home.
Or talk to Pan, yeah.
Then I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself, Grace.
I'd say hello, Grace, but I'm afraid that look on your face might be catching.
What is this place?
It's a garden, darling. Surely even mortals have them.
This building, all those people I pass getting up here. Are they all idols?
Oh, at least some of them. Welcome to Olympus, dear Grace. Our home hidden away in plain sight. Marvelous, isn't it?
I've passed this part of the city 100 times. I've never seen this building. Was it always here, or...?
Our Lady Hecate provides glamours that allow certain things to go unseen, such as my glorious horns. Olympus is the same. Those invited see it. Those who aren't see exactly what they expect. It's not anywhere as grand as in the old country, but it serves its purpose.
I don't know, Pan. Olympus seems pretty grand to me.
As if mortals would know any better. This isn't the first time you've been here. I'm sure Hermes took you to Athena's dreary office.
That's here? Huh.
Good one, that Hermes. Almost as dull-witted as the original, but biddable.
How many idols are there? I've met, what, less than 12?
Oh, I don't know, 20, 30. Our numbers have dwindled so much I've stopped keeping track.
I didn't know there were that many gods.
We're not all equally legendary, it's true. Some idols were barely worshipped, others not at all. Indeed, not all of us are idols. Some are merely immortal. Hangers-on, if you will. You'll meet them all, given time.
Idols live here? I mean, Calliope didn't, obviously. Apollo doesn't either.
One must have special dispensation from Our Lady of Wisdom, Athena, before they can take up a private dung heap like Apollo's.
Am I gonna have to give him my apartment?
That's rather putting the cart before the horse, darling. First, you must outlive the week.
Right. Good point. You asked me to meet you here?
I did. Though I feared you might decline, considering your rather callous rejection earlier. Regardless, my pride is intact, as is the favor you owe me, which I now wish to collect.
Oh, sure. I'm totally in a position to help others right now. Lay it on me.
Here's the thing. A friend has begged for my help, and you're far better suited than I to offer what he requires. I'll give you a key to reach the reliquary where he resides. You help him, and then we're even. If that's not enough incentive, the reliquary is also where you'll find the lovely Hecate. A sorceress of her power could aid your quest. What do you say?
This person I'm to help, what does he want? And why can't you do it?
Well, Grace, there are some things you're better equipped to handle than I. This, as I understand it, is a delicate matter of the heart. One that requires a muse's hand.
A matter of the heart?
What, did you think I was sending you to rough someone up? Set something aflame? Don't be absurd. The man has an issue with his love life. Even if you can't help him, I'll treat the effort as worth the favor.
So that's it? Fix up someone's love life? Nothing trickier than that?
Oh, the way you talk, Grace. It makes me blush.
Well, it's just that...
I trade in willing favors, Grace. If I didn't, no one would want to do as I ask, and then where would I be? I may seem untrustworthy, but allow me to reassure you. If I wish you harm, you will walk into that harm knowingly, and with open arms.
What about Calliope? Did she walk into harm knowingly and with open arms?
You tell me. I could deny it, of course, but if you choose not to believe anything I say, what's the point of asking the question?
What is this reliquary? Doesn't that have something to do with the bones of saints or something?
Not those relics. Our relics. The relics of ancient gods. Magical treasures collected over thousands of years. Books, mainly. We store them in a faraway place so no one unsavory can get their hands on them.
Unsavory like you?
Unsavory like most. Athena has decreed that these relics are not to be used by any save Hecate and herself. A rather dull waste of so much amassed knowledge and power, but who am I to judge? I'm not leader of the chorus.
If these relics are off limits, does that mean they're dangerous?
Some, but I'm not asking you to chase after any of that nonsense. In fact, I'd advise against it.
But what if one of those relics could help me?
My, such an adventurer you are. It's possible, but ask Hecate first. She, and I mean this with complete and uncharacteristic seriousness, is not an idol you or anyone wishes to cross.
This Hecate, do you think she could help me?
If she's of a mind. She is the goddess of dark magic, the creator of all our marvelous glamours. If anyone can help you, it is she.
And if she's not of a mind?
Then she won't help you. Grace, that part is up to you. I can't be expected to do everything, can I?
I'll think about it, but no promises.
Marvelous. The gentleman you seek is named Asterion. Lovely fellow, quite harmless. Now, if there's nothing else you need.
That depends. What can you tell me about Medusa?
That is a rather peculiar subject change.
Her name came up at Aphrodite's party. I'd like to look into it.
You'll find Medusa at a dingy little club appropriately named the Viper's Nest. Give her my regards. Do tell me you'll be careful if you go there, Grace. Medusa is a hideous creature and should be treated as such.
I'll be careful. What could go wrong?
Darling, there are so many responses to that, I can't pick just one. I'll send a package to your domicile that contains directions and the key you'll need to reach the reliquary.
I said no promises.
Well, if you decide to go, Grace, you'll still need all those things. Say hello to darling Hecate on my behalf, will you?
Hey, hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse?
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having.
Well, I went to a party held by the goddess of love, and she died.
Man, I always miss the really good parties. Here I was, sitting at home, just reading a book. Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddy?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
Do you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9, though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow, I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her then. What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true. You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Yeah, kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him?
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil. Weirdly, he's also the only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there's never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me? I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost. But also, what might still be out there.
You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? And all those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be everywhere and no one would know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
Yeah, that's cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi? Oh.
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
Okay, I have to hear this.
Okay, so you could have real evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline: Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah, you're right. I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer. Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
Ugh, I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
Okay, that's enough questions for now.
You sure? I can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddy. Time for more mystery solving.
Well, I think this will be a good place to stop for now. I am really loving this. Like, the songs are great. The characterizations are something wild. Like, between Persephone and Aphrodite, oof. Like, you get where they're coming from based on how they're set up in this story. And I'm kind of making my choices just like if I was in Grace's shoes, like being the outsider and all this. Like, I'm not gonna fully like influence someone to do what I want them to do, you know what I mean? Which is kind of how like the Aphrodite stuff happened. But who's to say the next incarnation will not change? Or will change. You know what I mean? But I think the more fascinating aspect about this is the fact that the Greek gods are pretty much just body snatchers. It's like their spirits will continue to live on, but they have to inhabit physical bodies. And that's kind of like clever. So, with all that out of the way, if you stuck around this long, thank you for watching. I hope you were enjoying a commentary-less stream from me, but I really wanted to like just focus on the characters, enjoy the music, and Calliope just jumped in my lap. Which, funny enough, the game never the game's Calliope never inspired me to name this cat. That came from Sandman, the TV show. But I digress. Thank you for watching. Socials, Blue Sky, Tumblr. You'll find them in the description on the channel. VODs to the YouTube. And I will be back tomorrow, Sunday, for Persona 5. Persona 4, Jesus. I could be playing Persona 5 too. Maybe next time. I'll probably pick up Royal at some point. Yeah. Until then, have a good evening.